Hello YouTube, I'm FireDragons42. I've come to talk to you about an article I found. This was about the Phelps family, as I'm sure most of the people who are encountering this video already know about the Phelps family, but if you don't, I recommend that you hold off on watching this video and go check out some of their videos. Shouldn't be too hard to find. Search Phelps or Westboro Baptist Church and you'll find everything you need to know about these people. Now this article in particular referred to Fred Phelps' son. His name is Nate, and he encountered the man who wrote this article. You'll see the description and the link to the article on the side in my description. But he talked to this guy and he found out that Fred Phelps, he used to beat his children with a thing called a mattock. It's similar to a pickaxe. Describes it as it has a handle with a 3-foot shaft and twice the density of a baseball bat. He would beat them with this item. It says one night Phelps hit Nate over 200 times with this handle. And I'll hold my commentary till the end. We'll go through. We've revealed that Fred Phelps, while he was attending law school, he would take amphetamines to stay awake and barbiturates to fall asleep, so he was always on pills, which made him prone to violence. And Nate recalls when his father would force him and his brothers and sisters to run 5 to 10 miles around the high school track every night. Says one evening another boy was riding his bicycle along the outer lanes of the track, and Fred began yelling at him to leave. The boy's response was to keep riding on the track, and Fred's was to push him off the bike. The boy left screaming, and 20 minutes later a truck came screeching into the parking lot. The boy had brought his father, who approached Fred and knocked him to the ground. The man was threatening to sue him, said Nate. Then the old man yelled at us all to get in the car, and we went home. And his father ended up beating his mother that night. So Nate also talks about how he ended up becoming an atheist, because he left the Fred Phelps family as soon as he turned 18. Once he was 18, he left, and he ended up getting married, having a couple kids, and he was going to a church, lots of friends, whatnot. And it came out one Christmas he was talking to his kids and trying to teach them about God, and said that his son Tyler was crying in the backseat of the car because he didn't want to go to hell. And he says he wanted to believe in God, in the God of the Bible, the Christian God, because he did not want to go to hell. And Nate said he was stunned because he tried to present it without the fear, and it finally realized that that is all that it really is. All that religion is trying to do is make you follow the doctrine because of fear. The fear that you will go to hell, the fear that you will not have your eternal life, the fear that such horrible things will happen to you if you don't obey the invisible man's little rules. And so I could bash and talk about the Fred Phelps and how evil he is, and he is evil. He is absolutely evil. Before I encountered this, I didn't like him. I hated him and the way his family are acting, the way his family forces their little children to carry these signs of God hates fags, God hates America. But I accepted that, okay, free speech, you have a right to have these ideas, you have a right to say it to a point. So there wasn't too much bitterness. But after this, I learned that he was a physical child abuser, not just mentally, and he beat his wife. Now, if these two things are true, then it is a travesty of justice that he has not been imprisoned. But that's enough. That's enough about talking about Fred Bloody Phelps. I'd like to actually look at Nate. And Nate was brought up in this highly religious family. He was taught that if he strayed even the slightest, that God would strike him down and condemn him forever to hell and fire and brimstone, all that. Yet he left. He managed to escape that hell. He managed to escape Fred Phelps, who would abuse him. He got away. He still had self-confidence in himself. He got a job. He got married, successful, had kids, and he ended up breaking away totally and is now an atheist. This to me shows just absolute incredible strength of character for Nate. He is an incredibly strong person, and I want to commend him for that. He's done amazing good job, and he is sitting there, and he said that when he left his church, that when he left the church, his friends from the church, they just disappeared from his life because he'd become an atheist and couldn't believe anymore. He was nothing to them. And I want to let him know, if he ever sees this video, that there are other people out there who will support you. We know that it's not evil to be an atheist. We know how hard it must be for you to all of a sudden have this idea of being a traitor by all your friends. And I'd like to say Godspeed to you, but knowing that there is no God, that we both just have to laugh at that. But Nate, I salute you, and keep up the good work. We can support you if you ever have problems.